playtime is over. Thank you, Cheryl Wood, for inviting me to be a part of this great, empowering, inspiring, educating, uplifting movement. Oh, it's such an honor to be here. I am so honored and humbled to be a part of this movement with such phenomenal women of today that are making history. They're trailblazers, they're innovators, they're trendsetters, and I am among the elite. I want to say thank you so much for this. Thank you for answering the call. My name is Crystal+Cunningham, and I am the founder and the CEO of Inspirations by Crystal+Cunningham, Motivation and Coaching. When I left home at 16, and I met this gentleman. I met this man, and I thought that when he asked me to leave, that my life was going to be, I guess we was going to sail off into the sunset or something like that. But little did I know that my life would change, and it would change for the worse. I found myself involved in activities that I was ashamed of. I was very embarrassed. I felt that I embarrassed myself. I felt that I embarrassed my family. There was a lot of guilt there. I was involved with a lot of drug activities, a lot of gangs, a lot of violence, a lot of abuse, robberies. These are some of the things that I was partaking in. I was partaking in these activities. And did I know that this would happen when I left? No. Did I think that it would wind up this way? No. Did I think that I would be a high school dropout, a mother by the time I was 17, married at 16? Did I think that these things it would be me? I didn't really think that for myself. I didn't think that my life would end up 14 years stuck. And when I say stuck, it was just like everybody else was moving, everybody else was living, but except me. And here it is, I found myself every day struggling with just living. And I didn't really understand what it meant to be living, but I knew it was more than what Crystal was doing at the time. So for me, I had to really hit rock bottom. And my rock bottom was losing everything. And the most important thing, it wasn't even about the materialistic things or anything like that. It was me losing my soul. It was me losing hope. I was hopeless. I had become so hopeless. I had become so filled with, consumed with fear, consumed with doubt, consumed with just a lot of struggles, a lot of insecurities was there. And in the course of this time, I didn't have no support system. I didn't have anybody that was able to talk to me and tell me that, your life didn't have to be like this anymore. I strayed away from my family. I moved thousands of miles away from home. I didn't have them. I didn't have my support system. I didn't have anybody. I found myself almost 1,200 miles away from home, and I was on the streets. But there was something that happened. There was something that was going on inside. And let me just tell you this one moment that I was having when I was finding myself even being homeless. I remember this guy had came and he sat by me and we was talking. And he says to me, "What do you see across the street?" And I said to him, I was looking at him like, I know I see some trees. I don't know what you're looking at, but I see some trees over there. And one of the things that he said to me, he said, "Wow, what a small mind you have." And that perked up something in me. Because when I looked across the street, he said, if you can't see beyond the trees, then you're in trouble. And from that day, I think that's where he planted a seed inside of me that was saying, Crystal, there's more to life. There's more to just this. There's more to just getting up and you're just doing the same thing day after day, which is nothing. You're basically killing yourself. You're destroying your life. So I had to take my life back into my own hands, and I had to get things in order. So for Crystal, the takeover was so important. It was important for me. I couldn't do it for my children. I couldn't do it for my family. I couldn't do it for anybody else. I had to do it for Crystal. And once I really applied that, and once I really got that within, then that's when things started to change. See, I was robbed of my joy. I was robbed of my peace. I was robbed of my identity. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know how valuable I was. I didn't know how special I was. I didn't know that I had some worth, that I was this virtuous young lady. Even though with everything that I had been through, I still was a virtuous woman. I didn't know these things about myself. But in the midst of me one day making this change, one day I said to myself, enough is enough. Enough is enough, and you're going to have to do something about this. So I took some action. I knew that there was somebody that God had put in my path that had gotten themselves together, and he was at the time the only person that I can call on. So once I came back to New York, because at the time I had already left home and, I was so far away. But when I came back home, he was my point of contact. And at that moment, I picked up the phone and I reached out to him. Because that morning when I saw myself in the bathroom, I couldn't even identify myself anymore. I didn't even know who I was. I was like, oh my gosh, who is this woman standing here? I mean, my face had really become really disfigured. I was really dark. I mean, just because I wasn't taking care of myself, my skin wasn't right. I mean, I used to have a lot of bumps and acne on my face, and just because I wasn't taking care of myself properly because of my lifestyle. But this one morning, I was like, enough is enough. And when I saw that person in the mirror, it scared me so bad that I said, either they're going to be putting me 6 feet under, or I'm going to have to get it together. And that day, I made a decision to get myself together. So I took my life back. I took it by force. And let me tell you how I did that. So every day, first thing I did was I made a decision. I said, okay, I'm making the decision to change. And that means that I can no longer associate myself with people, places, or things. And another thing was I had to stop thinking those thoughts. I had to replace those thoughts with something better. I had to do something. And one of the things I did was every day I got up, and I got up purposefully with an agenda, set out to make my life better, for myself, for my children, for my family, for my community. I didn't want to be a statistic anymore. I didn't want to be a woman on welfare anymore. I didn't want that for myself. So what I did was I started to get myself together. I went back. I found out ways how I can go back to school. I found out ways how I can start working again. And then what happened, the more I got up and I was purposely moving and bettering myself, the doors started to open. And I eventually landed what I felt was my dream job, because I wanted to be in corporate America. I wanted that for myself. And Lord behold, here it is. I got the job of my dream. I got the job that I truly want. I was able to grow in it. I was able to learn some skill sets. I was able to make some new connections, some new friendships. I mean, my life had totally changed from the way it was. I was able to take care of myself, buy myself my own car, no longer dependent on a man to do anything for me. I was able to do that for myself and also for my kids. I was able to start traveling the world. I was able to take myself across the country. I mean, the things that I once looked and watched other people do, when I looked at a magazine, I dreamed of that. I do those things today. I'm able to do those things today because I took my life back. Because like she says, playtime is over. Every day and every minute and every second, it matters. Those moments we will never get back. What are we going to do to make our tomorrow better? You can't change yesterday, so don't worry about it. But what you can do is you can change your today. That I know for sure, okay? So what I'm learning is, and my dream job is actually pushed me into my real dream job. A job that doesn't even pay me as much as I know that I would like to have. Hold on, I gotta stop that. What did she tell me to say right there? Because that's where I'm supposed to reel them in. All right, hold on. I got my dream job. I'm moving into my dream job that's gonna pay me more than I can ever imagine. Oh, okay. So I'm moving into my dream job that I can do in my sleep. I do this thing in my sleep because it's so embedded in me. It's my passion, it's my purpose, it's my destiny. So I'm gonna dominate this place. I'm gonna dominate my lane. And this dream job is not just gonna pay me financially. It's not just gonna pay me the six figures financially, but it's paying me spiritually. It is a blessing to be able to come and talk to you, to be able to come and encourage someone else and give someone the tools that I too got, that I am also discovering as each day goes by and applying them to your life. I am living proof that guess what, when you take your life back and you take ownership on it, there is nothing that you wouldn't be able to do. Who would have thought that here it is, I'm an entrepreneur today? Who would have thought that? Who would have thought that? I didn't. But see, God did. He had a plan. He says, I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and not harm you. So today, right now, I believe that, and I'm seeing it, and I'm seeing the fruits of it. So in this moment that you have and playtime is over, I want you to take advantage of all the resources, all of the contacts, all of the information that is being given to you. And I want you to start applying it to your life. And I have 5 grace tips that I want to give you, okay? 5 grace tips. But tonight I can only give you 3, okay? The first one is that you have to make a decision. You have to make a decision and you have to stick by it. Number 2, you have to be committed. You have to be committed no matter how it looks, no matter if you fall, if you fail, if it doesn't work out, get back up and stay committed to it. You know, we like perfection, and sometimes looking for perfection will actually set you back and actually make you come off track. But don't allow that to happen, okay? The number 3 is you have to be diligent. You have to get up every day with already an agenda. I recommend that before you go to bed at night, that you write down the things that you need to do for the next day. I don't care if it's just going to the gym. See, you need to start living on purpose, okay? You need to get rid of that idle time. You need to really start honing in on the things that you need to do. So if you need to build your business and if you need to start getting your business plan in order, those are the things that you need to start doing. You need to start incorporating that in your agenda for the day. If you need to go to your kids' school, those things which we think that are, not important. See, it keeps you focused and it keeps you on track. You want to stay diligent in your daily activities because then you will start to see the success. You will start to see your success manifest. Now, for the other two, I'm going to ask that you go to my website at www.crystal, that's spelled with the Crystal, Cunningham, Cunningham.co. And in the contact information, I want you to put in there the 5 grace steps. Then I will know to contact you. We're going to link up together. We're going to have a private session, but we're going to do this together, okay? So once again, my website is www.crystalcunningham.co. You can also find me on Facebook underneath Inspirations by Crystal Cunningham. And on Twitter, you can find me Inspirational CC, but it's spelled with an N. So it's NSPIRATIONALCC, okay? And that is my Twitter handle. So I want to come to you this evening letting you know that playtime is over. This is your moment to connect with other entrepreneurs, other women that are doing the things that you would like to do. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for help. See, your story was there to lead you into your destiny. I don't regret my yesterday. I don't regret it at all. I'm unapologetic about it. I really am. Because if that had not happened, would I be here? How would I know I would be here? I'm not sure. But I am sure about it because I'm here. So being that that was the road that had to take me to get me where I'm at, own it. Own it. Don't be ashamed of it. See, that's what he wants you to do. He wants you to be ashamed of it. But don't be ashamed of it because it's helping you. It's building you. What was that struggle about? See, I like one thing that I heard. If you ever heard of the book of David, see, when he was growing up, he had the lion and the bear that he had to battle with. But see, if Goliath knew that he took down the bear and the lion, Goliath would have never came for him. So it's just like if the addiction ever knew that I was going to succeed, it would have never came for me. It would have left me alone. But being that it didn't, God made that my footstool to come and talk to you. So don't be ashamed. Don't be embarrassed. Own it. And own it with power and authority. It's yours. Yes, it is yours. It is not who you are, but it is yours. And be okay with it. Embrace it. And come with power. Okay? So I want to take this time out to say thank you so much, Cheryl Wood, for even having the vision. Having the vision so I can be in your vision and be in it with others. I want to say thank you so much. And ladies, just always know, playtime is over and you have to take your life back by force. My name is Crystal Cunningham. I thank you for this moment. I thank you for this opportunity for allowing me into your homes, on your smartphones, or wherever you're at. I thank you for allowing me this opportunity to be able to sow into you. And my motto is, if God could do it for me, he can do it for you. And don't despise the day of small beginnings, because I too once thought that I wouldn't make it out. But look at me now. I'm living proof that guess what? When you pursue with purpose, there is nothing that you won't be able to achieve. Have a great evening.